So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, anyway, so karon natarong na akong lens sa mga ni-comment. Dili na kay ko duol sa ako camera. I'm learning. Thank you guys. Okay, so karon we'll be discussing about the urinary system. And before ta magpadayon jud ana, we'll be talking about acids and bases and also pH para ma-orienta and makasabot mo sa ako pang yaw-yaw later on. So here we go. Okay, so an acid in chemistry is a hydrogen-releasing substance and it is a chemical with sour taste. Dayon ang base kay ang hydrogen-combining substance in chemistry. And these substances, when in aqueous solution, releases hydrogen ions and are slippery to touch and can taste bitter. So, bitter siya, guys. Aqueous is... kuan. So, an aqueous solution means containing water or similar to water. Oh my gosh, yes. So, pH means the potential of hydrogen, and it is an expression of hydrogen concentration. The higher the hydrogen concentration, the lower the pH, and the lower the hydrogen concentration, the higher the pH. And our blood, ang blood niya nag-run through sa atong body is normally between 7.35 and 7.45 na pH. Okay, so our body faces pathologic changes niya. It can cause acid-base disturbances. So pathologic changes are extreme, excessive, or marked by abnormal outputs or altered or caused by disease. So mga changes na basing tungod sa diseases atong na-encounter sa mga siya. So, ang kaning mga acid-base disturbances are acidosis and alkalosis. Yes. Acidosis is the increase in acidity and alkalosis is the increase in alkalinity. Okay, so we should know that normal cellular metabolism constantly produces and excretes carbon dioxide into the blood. Then it combines with H2O or water to make carbonic acid, which dissociates into hydrogen ions and bicarbonate. And this is an equilibrium, meaning all of the components on the left side and the right side coexist at all times, and that the concentration of any component is determined or depends on the concentration of another component at any given moment. So, balik, kung nakaka-change dire, nasa ma-change dire. Gitulo na sa chem sa una. Yay! So, acidosis is when the pH goes below. So, acidosis is when the pH goes below 7.35. And acidosis has two types, the respiratory acidosis and the metabolic acidosis. The respiratory acidosis results from inadequate function of the lungs, which causes carbon dioxide to increase. And then ang metabolic acidosis is the primary decrease in plasma bicarbonate and can result from excessive production of metabolic acids, ingestion of acids, decreased ability of the kidney to excrete acids, and the loss of alkali sa ato ang body. So, acute metabolic acidosis may also cause an increased rate and depth of breathing, confusion and headaches, and it can lead to seizures, coma, and sometimes even death. So now we'll be going to alkalosis. So alkalosis is when the pH goes above 7.45. Okay, so alkalosis has two types, parehara sa acidosis, the respiratory and the metabolic alkalosis. So the respiratory alkalosis is the excessive exhalation of carbon dioxide. Then the metabolic alkalosis, the primary increase in plasma bicarbonate. And it can result from excessive loss of acids through kidneys or the gastrointestinal tract, or the bicarbonate retention and the ingestion of alkali. So, di ba, mag-produce og katong mga acids ang ato ang kuan sa stomach ay sa gastrointestinal tract. Yes. So, mo na siya, basta masubraan naging ato kay makakuan kag alkalosis. And alkalosis can result to irritability, weakness, and muscle cramping. So, tungod aning changes sa pH sa ato ang blood, resulting plasma may either be normal, acidemia, or alkalinity. So normal siya if neutral ang atong pH. So mga between 7.35 to 7.45. Then acidemia siya if ang pH is below 7.35. So it is too acidic. And alkalimia siya if it is greater than 7.35, which is too basic. Okay, so before ta mo proceed, magbuhat sa taog a little experiment on acids and bases. Let's go!
Okay, so karon magkailangan ta og cup, alkaline water, mineral water, pH tester, dishwashing liquid, nya suka or vinegar. Okay, so atong sundan sa mineral water. So ito siyang putangan ng pH tester. Yes, okay, so ato siyang i-mix. Okay, so yellow siya guys. Yeah, dishwashing liquid na sa ta. Okay. Ni-green siya gamay. Gamay. Kini-yellow siya balik.
Ah, na-siya ko demonstrate so acidic siya, oh my gosh.
Okay, so karon ato i-zoom in. Yeah, magbutang na tag vinegar. Okay, ala ni orange siya. Ni orange na siya, guys. So, na siya ang result sa alkaline water, guys. Yes. Blue na siya. Or dark green. Something like that. Okay, karon so mag-water test ta. Testing sa water. Sa pH sa water. So, na to ang mineral.
Oh my gosh!
Mix na to.
Charan!
Yeah, ang alkaline water. Charan! So, change siya, guys. Bibo. Pwede sad mo gamit og kanang mga litmus paper or DIY litmus paper. Pwede nyo gamiton ang red nga cabbage for DIY litmus paper. You can search it up kung wala mo'y lingaw. Or if you want to discover things. Charat!
Okay, since naman to sa experiment, karon magpalayon na sa ating discussion. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so atong body, kailangan siya tulo ka mechanisms para ma-maintain ang atong blood pH. So the three mechanisms are the buffering system, the respiratory compensation or pulmonary control, and the renal compensation. So karon magsugod sa buffering system. So na mga lahi-lahi nga buffer system. So ang first is the bicarbonate buffering system. It is the primary extracellular fluid buffering system, and then it contains bicarbonate. It is in charge of bicarbonate and carbonic acid. So ang protein buffer system kay ang primary intracellular fluid buffering system. And then the hemoglobin buffer system goes against or is the one that takes against carbonic acid. Kaya in our body, when our tissue starts to generate carbon dioxide, it goes to the blood and moves up to the lungs para ma-exhale na to ang atong carbon dioxide. So now, during the transport, carbon dioxide might generate some hydrogen ions. And so, hemoglobin attaches to these hydrogen ions so it won't change the body's or the blood's pH. Kaayo. So the phosphate buffer system is usually used by the urinary system. So buffer means that whatever the pH, high or low, it will bring it back to normal. So mo na kato mga buffer systems kay mo na say mutabang para ma-normal balik ang ato ang pH. Okay, so next is the respiratory compensation or the pulmonary control. It is known as the second line of defense. So this is the mechanism of the respiratory center which plasma pH can be altered by changing the respiratory rate. So diri kay mag-eliminate ta og carbon dioxide through exhalation. So or something like that. So para ma-affect ang carbon dioxide sa atong body through respiratory compensation, kay when arterial hydrogen ions increase in our body, Okay, the rate and depth of breathing increases. Then, when hydrogen ions concentration decreases, pulmonary ventilation decreases. So, if there is a decrease in blood pH sensed by the central chemoreceptors, kay kanang mas daghan ang CO2 kay ang pH acidic man, and this will cause the lungs to exhale more to get rid of carbon dioxide, CO2. Yeah. Since our blood pH needs to be regulated, so dire kay mo deep ug paspas ang atong pag-inhale exhale, nya mas nidaghan ang atong na-release nga carbon dioxide, nya less ang hydrogen nga nahimo nato, ug ni-decrease ang acidity sa blood, and mo normal balik atong pH tungod sa nabuhat or like atong inhale exhale action nato sa ato ang respiratory compensation. So the peripheral chemoreceptors respond to the change in hydrogen, while the central chemoreceptors respond to the change in carbon dioxide. So, ang respiratory compensation kay fast and effective siya within minutes or within hours, since breathing naman siya and all. Okay, so next is ang renal compensation, which is the third line of defense. So, the kidneys control blood pH by adjusting the amount of secreted acids and reabsorbed bicarbonate. So, ang kidneys kaya mo eliminate na siya hydrogen ions, which is derived from sulfuric, phosphoric, lactic, and other acids sa atong body. Niya mo adjust ni siya 3 factors sa atong body: hydrogen ion and bicarbonate excretion and ammonia secretion. Okay, so it is slower, and usually takes days to respond to pH disturbances. Okay, so now, since na-inform naman mo atong mechanisms and the acid-base stuff atong kastoryaan, so we will be talking about the kidney, and we'll be also tracing the flow of plasma or blood through the arteries, nephrons, and the veins. Okay, so the kidneys are highly complicated filtration factories. So, ang oxygenated blood comes to the kidneys from the right and left renal arteries. So, inside each kidney, the renal artery branches into smaller and smaller parts until they make contact with the core structural and functional units of the kidney, which is the nephrons or nephrons. Yes, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So, kani sila kay they include tiny cold tubes of capillaries and their associated tubules. Each kidney has approximately 1 million nephrons. Yes. And these nephrons regulate water, waste, and other materials in the blood and urine. So, ma-regulate siya sa katong mga waste na para sa atong body. So, within each nephron is a small sac of capillaries called the glomerulus. And in these capillaries, under tight pressure, materials are constantly being filtered out of the blood. And the pressure in each glomerulus is higher than in any other capillary. So, ang mga glomerulus kailangan sila ng pressure para ma-actively filter nila ang foreign particles out of the body. Yeah, because of their need for high pressure, the kidneys also help control blood pressure by producing renin. So, renin assists in the increase of the blood pressure and retains sodium in the bloodstream, which leads to water retention. And both the resulting arterial constriction and sodium water retention help restore normal blood pressure. Yeah, after the kidney have performed their cleansing function, diba, arteries, another siya sa nephrons, the filtered and the oxygenated blood leaves the kidneys through the renal veins, moves up the inferior vena cava, and returns to the heart. So, mo to siya ang trace sa blood or flow of plasma through the arteries, the nephrons, and the veins. Okay, so now we'll be talking about the 3 main steps of urine formation. So, urinary system, urine formation. Okay, bahalag sa ang pala ang ko. So, the kidney filters unwanted substances from the blood and produce urine to excrete these unwanted substances. Yeah, there are 3 main steps in urine formation: the filtration, the reabsorption, and the secretion. So, kani mga processes ensure that only waste products and excess water are removed from the body. So, magsugod sa filtration. So, di ba, nisud na ang kuan sa glomerulus. So, mo-filter siya water, plasma bicarbonate, and other substances from the bloodstream. Nga each kidney, di ba, contains a million nephrons. Million. So, kaning tanan nga nephron, or each nephron has a glomerulus, which is the site of blood filtration. The glomerulus is a network of capillaries surrounded by a cup-like structure, which is the glomerular capsule, or the Bowman's capsule. As blood flows through the glomerulus, blood pressure pushes water and solutes from the capillaries into the capsule through a specialized layer of cells. So, kani siya ang mga specialized layer of cells kay kani siya filtration membrane. Nya kaning filtration membrane kay mao na siya ang moallow sa water o small solutes to pass but i-block niya ang blood cells and large proteins. So the filtration membranes keeps blood cells and large proteins in the bloodstream lang. So dili siya kalusot. So the filtrate or the fluid that has passed through the membrane flows from the glomerulus capsule further into the nephron. So padayon siya. Kaya nakalusot man siya. So ang reabsorption kaya ma-take place na siya sa proximal tubule. The glomerulus filters water and small solutes out of the bloodstream, diba? And then the resulting filtrate containing waste but also other substances the body needs, which are essential ions, glucose, amino acids, and smaller proteins. So when the filtrate exits the glomerulus, it flows into the duct in the nephron called the renal tubule. So as it moves, the needed substance and some water are reabsorbed through the tube wall into adjacent capillaries. So the amount of reabsorbed bicarbonate is regulated via a number of mechanisms in response to change the blood pH. So now we'll be going to secretion, which is the last step sa ato ang urine formation. Okay, so waste ions and hydrogen ions secreted from the blood complete the formation of urine. The filtrate absorbed in the glomerulus flows through the renal tube, man, diba? Then the nutrients and the water are reabsorbed into the capillaries. At the same time, waste ions and hydrogens pass from the capillaries into the renal tube. So the downstream collecting duct generates new bicarbonate by actively secreting acids. Nga ang kaning secreted hydrogen ions combined with the remaining filtrate or the urinary buffers, namely filtered phosphate and ammonia, nya mo na siya ang mahimong urine. Nya kaning urine kay mo flow out of the nephron, tubule into a collecting duct. Okay, so from that, kaya magawa siya sa kidney through the renal pelvis into the ureter and down to the bladder. So, kahit na. Okay, so fun fact before I end, urine is 95% water. The nephron, yes, of the kidney processes blood and create urine through a process of filtration, reabsorption, and secretion, man, diba? So urine is about 95% water and 5% waste products. Nitrogenous waste excreted in urine include urea, creatinine, ammonia, and uric acids, and ions such as sodium, potassium, hydrogen, and calcium are also excreted. So, mo to siya, guys. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope nakasabot ra mo sa akong gipangyaw-yaw. See you next time. Bye!